Hey ManCave, this is Bob from the Bob's N-Scale ManCave. We're here at the N-Scale Convention in Kansas City, Kansas actually. Not Kansas City, Missouri, but in Kansas. We're here with Scale Train's president, Shane Wilson. And he has an N-Scale announcement that I'm sure you're willing to purchase some of these products in the near future. Shane, what do we have here today?
Well, thanks, Bob. We're really excited to finally be able to announce our first N-Scale locomotive here at the National N-Scale Convention. And just like what we did with HO, we announced back at Trade Fest, we really want to do a locomotive that plants that flag in the ground and says, this is what we can do. And just like the HO model, we're doing an N-Scale 3-unit, 8,500 horsepower GTEL Big Blow Turbine. And one of the things we wanted to do, just like HO, is we want to push that envelope in N-Scale too. So we really worked hard to bring a new level of detail to the models. So for instance, things that we're doing, all separately applied grab irons, as you can see up here on the nose, things like separately applied mirrors, ladders, and then we are going to go in just like all the details we did in HO. So if you look up the top, this locomotive in my hand is an HI dynamic, and it's a shape. This other one here on the table is also an HI. Depending on the production, you'll see the hornings up front, you got the back of the radiators, you got louver covers, two different styles of fuel tanks. The two here are both the later version. It's a much larger fuel tank. The earlier versions, which we had, a bit smaller, a bit more detail on the side of the locomotive. Other things like see-through louvers. We've also come up with the drive system, so you won't see the drive system inside as you look all the way through the locomotive. When you look through the grills inside. Other things, LED lighting, of course, LED headlight, LED light on the tender. The number boards are lit as well. You've got full pilot detail on the locomotive. As you get to the B unit, the two here that we've got are both what we call I dynamics. There's also an HI dynamic on these as well. Between the two, you'll see different etched metal walkways. This is the later Dynamane air intake. We also have the smaller square air intake that has delivered. Also, as you look down the exhaust tube, you see that the turbine blades are visible inside. Other things that we've done, this is a later version where they started plating over some of the doors. You can see right here and here. The earlier versions are going to have all louvers on them. And then, of course, when you get to the tender, two different tenders as well. You've got the smaller 23-seat tender, which is the 23,000 gallon with the Buckeye trucks on it, and then with the larger 24-seat tender, also with the Commonwealth trucks, there's a bigger tender. Both of these, the A and the B units are powered. If you buy the DCC and sound equipped version, the A unit will have a prime mover sound, the B unit will have the turbine sound inside. So went to a lot of effort to make sure that these were road number specific and had as much detail as we could possibly do in N-Scale.
So the sound in DCC is going to be from
ESU LokSound, just like the HO version, and we'll use the sounds from the HO with the same sound. We are using the cell phone signer speaker, so you'll have the sound in N-Scale as well. So this is number 18. Number 18 is the one that resides in Union, Illinois. And this is number 26. That's the one from Ogden, Utah. A lot of separately applied detail parts on the locomotives. As you're looking, you'll notice like grab irons on the nose on both sides. You got grabs up here on the roof. The ladders are all separate, as well as the mirrors. Quite a bit of pilot detail as you look down on the locomotive. Two different styles of fuel tank. This has the larger fuel tank. There's also a smaller tank. The grills are see-through etched metal, and you can actually see all the way through the locomotive. You won't see the gear tower inside. Worked really hard to make sure that that wasn't visible. This is a later version locomotive. You'll notice it's got the antenna on the heater box, and then you've also got the horns back on the grills. Also later because they've used this louver cover on the top, sort of like a winterization hatch, kind of the same concept. Then you look at the B unit, which is right behind it. This particular B unit has the grills up front and Then they plated over the doors in the back. Some of the early versions, these will all be louvers. This is the Dynavane air intake. We also do a smaller square air intake. Each version requires different walkways on the roof. This particular one is what's called an II dynamic. You can also get the HI dynamic on the B as well. And then, of course, all the pilot end detail. You'll notice the MU hoses. We'll get back to the tenders. Two different styles of tenders. We've got the 24C 24,000 gallon with the Commonwealth truck. Notice all the ladder detail. Also has the headlight on the back, and this has directional headlights so that it knows when the A is going one direction, it'll light. When it goes the other way, the B will light. And then the 23C tender with the Buckeye trucks. I really like these. A very unique looking truck, and directional lighting with it as well. 6 different road numbers between the two, and every one of them has unique detail.
You mentioned there was cab interior.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You don't see that a lot in N-scale.
Yep. So one of the unique things too, you've got separately, as you look through the windshield, and this particular windshield, we're going back to revise. It's not quite where we want it to be, but you'll notice the separate windshield wipers, and then actually inside you've got a full cab interior as well. Really working on trying to make them as realistic as possible when in.
Since we have already known or heard about the HO version in the museum hall, we have all those extra bells and whistles in that one. Is that not possible in the N-scale?
It's really challenging because, there's only so much space. So the turbine is in our Rivet Counter line because of the additional details. But there's really no way to take it to museum quality. There's just not enough room for the electronics inside and to be able to differentiate it enough to do two brands.
That's kind of what I expected, and probably everybody else is doing the same thing. But I sure wish they could put that in that small space. Technology.
Someday if we get to cordless motors or gear towers and drives, maybe we'll be able to get direct drive. For now,
miniature nuclear power plants.
Yeah. Hopefully someday.
What's the pricing?
So the neat thing on the pricing is for all 3 units, the A, the B, and the tender, we're looking for DCC and sound ready. It's $349.99 per selling price, and then with sound, which of course we get 2 sound systems, one in the A and one in the B. That one is $499.99. And we are offering an incentive to place pre-orders by the end of July. Place your pre-order by the end of July. We're offering a 5% savings. So a little bit of savings there. We can pre-order early. We're well along in the development process, and delivery in November
2016.
2016. Yeah, not next year.
I heard a rumor that the HO one was delayed a little bit in passing somewhere around here, but I wasn't sure if that was true or not.
Well, we are definitely late in delivering the HO version. It's in full production now. We were just in China about 3 weeks ago. We're leaving for China again in about 3 more weeks to oversee loading the truck. So we expect them to be on the truck in July. I'm sorry, on the container. Can't drive across the
No.
on the container at the end of July, and to put them in the States at the very end of August.
Okay. Well, that's something to look forward to for everybody. I know I'm looking forward to this model and the containers in the N-scale showing up. And this one?
Containers will be here in August, both the dry and the reefer.
That's a few things going in.
And then we announced more road names too.
More road names?
Yeah, more road names for the dry and reefer containers as well. And those will go over in November.
You mentioned something about N-scale box cars and stuff like that for future release maybe?
We have 3 freight cars in development right now for N-scale. We should be able to announce 2 this year with painted and decorated samples, possibly a 3rd. And then we're in development of our second N-scale locomotive. And just like what we did at HO, this is really targeted to show what we can do. The second locomotive will have that body marker here, parts are very easy.
We'll look forward to maybe Rail Fest. Train Fest. Probably announcing one of those.
We should be announcing the freight cars by Train Fest.
Okay. So look forward to that. And I'll be at Train Fest doing that one too. So. Well, thanks, Shane. And well, ManCavians, that's it. This is the N-Scale Big Blow version from scaletrains.com. And as always, click up here and subscribe, or click on some of my links down below, and follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. And as always, happy model railroading. Stay off the tracks. Bye.